Hi everyone. As I said before, I was going to be updating you from the south of France. This is where I am right now. I'm in a little village in the Languedoc where actually I have a home. So this is why I do what I do, so that I can travel, hang out in France and work with artists. This is my dream. So I've been here for about 2 weeks, I think, and so far it's been great. Weather has been spectacular. So it's been in the 80s during the day, and at night it hits around 61, 62, which is a little bit, which is perfect. Windows are open all the time, lots of fresh air. So everything's great. So anyway, I wanted to let you know about getting the Pass Sanitaire, which is the little app that comes on your phone that you can use then to go into any space, like any public space, whether it be a restaurant or a public venue. So basically the things that are going on here are very similar to where you're going to find the rest of the world, except stats here are actually improving a lot. So the infection rate for COVID has gone right down, and it's going down, 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 down every day. So that's good, and one of the reasons I think for that is the fact that these measures would put in that you cannot enter these places unless you have this special pass, and to get the special pass you either have to be vaccinated or you have to be fully tested, and that test only lasts for 72 hours. So the rate of testing has gone way, way high here, and so it's a good thing. People are very aware of what's going on. I am fully vaccinated, just for the record, but my vaccination certificate, of course, is an American one, which means it is a piece of paper and it has no digital code, QR code, which stands for quick response, that can be scanned. So I haven't been able to literally get a pass unless I also get tested, which I did do just for the experimentation of it. But what I've been doing is I've been going from pharmacy to pharmacy to try and find someone who'll give me one of these Pass Sanitaires. And because they can't actually scan that, they don't have the technology to convert it, even though I've heard in Paris it can be done. I know exactly the pharmacy. It's the one right beside the opera. There's pharmacies everywhere in France. Every village has a pharmacy, but some of them are just not equipped for this. However, I've just shown people my certificate, and that's been absolutely sufficient to order, to go into a restaurant, order food, whatever I want to do. So I haven't been slowed down at all. You should also know that masks are very widely worn here, and that's great. I'm actually, last time I talked to you, I was from the airport, so I was wearing my mask. Now I'm not, but yeah, so it's not difficult. So what was interesting is that the day I left, the State Department in the USA put out a travel advisory, which really freaked out a lot of people, as you would expect, which was interesting, right? Because the week before, the UK had said anyone coming from France had to quarantine in the UK for 10 days. And when the State Department sort of elevated the risk level of going to France, the UK lowered it and actually got rid of their quarantine. So now the UK residents can go back and forth and they don't have to quarantine. So whether one says it's worse, one says it's better, you ask yourself what's really going on here. So the statistics per million here, the stats in France are actually better than the stats in the United States. There's a lower infection rate, there's a lower death rate, and there's actually, right now, it has surpassed the vaccination rate. And the reason for that is because Macron, who's the premier of France, made it very inconvenient for anybody who is not vaccinated, having to get tested every 72 hours. So there you have it in a nutshell. Life goes on. It has been very easy to live here, but you have to follow these rules. And also, if you're traveling to France, you should really look for what is required when you arrive. You're going to have to fill in a form, you have to have your certificate, you have to have various things, which of course we fully inform all our guests. But what you also need to know is if you are traveling and transiting through certain countries, like the UK, for example, you also have to have a PCR test regardless if you're fully vaccinated. So if you're not aware of that, that can be problematic, as it was for me. But I ended up going through Madrid, and there it wasn't required, so I could just sail right on through. But it is a hassle if you're not fully aware. And honestly, people think I'm really lucky, but it's usually because I'm just really prepared. So if you're thinking about coming to Europe, Airfares are really good. They're not skyrocketed at all. They're reasonable. Everybody looks after you really well in the airlines. I can't say enough about Iberia Air, which is a Spanish airline. They were fabulous. All the people in the staff at airports are great, even though sometimes it's tricky. They're just doing that to keep us safe, and everybody's just trying to do their job. So you have to have a fair amount of empathy to make things happen. So there you go. That's my update from France, and I'm very, very happy to be here. And we'll talk to you later. Au revoir.